Your AI just moved home, and that changes everything. For the past 3 years, every major AI model, ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, lived in data centers thousands of miles away. You type a question, your data flew to the cloud, got processed, came back. But here's what's happening right now. Nvidia just proved that the world's most capable AI models can run entirely on your laptop. No internet needed. No server farms. No company tracking what you ask. Gemini Spark, Google's newest AI model, is so lightweight and efficient it runs natively on consumer hardware. And we're not talking about a weak, dumbed-down version. This is real AI, full capability, on your machine, starting this month. This isn't some distant science fiction scenario, it's happening now. The implications are absolutely massive. Privacy becomes default. Speed becomes instant. Cost becomes zero. The entire economics of AI are about to flip. And here's what most headlines get wrong. They treat this like a minor technical improvement. It's not. It's a fundamental change in who owns your data, who builds the next generation of AI applications, and what computing looks like for the next decade. This is bigger than when cloud computing arrived. And that's just the beginning. Rewind 10 years. If you wanted AI capabilities, you rented them. You didn't own the software, you rented access to someone else's computers. Google, OpenAI, and Meta built enormous data centers, trained massive models, and then charged you per API call. It was like electricity in the early 1900s. You didn't have a power plant at home. You plugged into the grid. The cloud model made sense for a while. Training a large language model takes months of computation. A single training run costs millions of dollars. Only corporations could afford it. So the economics locked in. You needed cloud access, which meant data servers, which meant your information traveled over the internet, which meant privacy trade-offs. The first ChatGPT needed a connection. Every request still does. Your data goes to OpenAI's servers, gets logged, gets analyzed. Same with Gemini on your phone, it's connected by default. Same with Claude. This worked fine because the alternative seemed impossible. Running GPT, 4-level intelligence on a consumer laptop that would require the entire device to be nothing but a graphics card. That seemed insane. And then Nvidia and Google figured out how to make it work. They didn't just compress the models, they restructured them completely. The result rewrites everything. Here's the breakthrough. Gemini Spark isn't a miniature version of Gemini. It's a completely different architecture. Google's engineers designed it specifically for devices, phones, laptops, edge hardware. Think of it like the difference between a full-size truck and a sports car. Same function, completely different design. Nvidia's new chips, specifically the RTX 50 series and beyond, have something called tensor cores that accelerate AI math. These are specialized circuits that do matrix multiplication billions of times per second. That's the core operation every transformer model depends on. So when you run Gemini Spark on an RTX 4070 or newer, the GPU does most of the heavy lifting. The CPU barely breaks a sweat. The memory footprint drops from 100 gigabytes to maybe 8 gigabytes. The inference time, the time it takes to generate a response, drops from 3 seconds in the cloud to 50 milliseconds locally. That's 60 times faster. 50 milliseconds feels instant to a human. 3 seconds feels like the app is thinking. That speed difference is the entire game. It changes how you interact with the software. Instead of typing a question and waiting, you get instant responses. You can have a conversation instead of a monologue. You can run AI tools that interact with your files, processes, and workflows in real time. And the cost? A single RTX graphics card costs between $400 and $800. That's a one-time purchase. Cloud subscriptions cost $5 to $20 monthly for years. The economics flip completely. So what can you actually do with this? Here's the practical reality starting today. First, instant AI writing. You're working in a document, highlight text, right-click and get AI suggestions. No internet call, no waiting 3 seconds. Instant. Second, code assistance without uploading proprietary code. You're working on something confidential, you get real-time Copilot-level suggestions, and your code never leaves your machine. Third, image generation. You want to create artwork or mock-ups, you run it locally. No waiting in a queue, no sending images to a server farm. The quality matches what you'd get from a cloud service, completely private. Fourth, voice transcription. You record audio, Whisper runs locally, transcribes perfectly, never calls a cloud API. Fifth, document analysis. You have contracts, PDF, spreadsheets. You analyze them with AI without uploading them to some company's servers. And there's a sixth thing nobody talks about. You can run multiple AI tools simultaneously. You can have a writing assistant and a code assistant and an image generator all working at once because they are all on your hardware. In the cloud, you're rate limited. You hit API limits. Locally, you run as many models as your GPU memory allows. This completely changes what's possible for developers and power users, but here's where it gets complicated. Local AI sounds perfect. No waiting, no privacy risk, no subscription fees, but it's not a clean win across the board. Here's where cloud still wins. First, capability. The largest models in the world still live in the cloud. GPT-4 is too massive to run locally. You're not getting peak intelligence locally. You're getting 85 to 95% of GPT-3 level performance with Gemini Spark. That's genuinely useful. But it's not cutting-edge research intelligence. Second, cost of entry. You need a modern GPU. A $400 graphics card isn't cheap. Your old laptop won't do it. This creates a two-tier system. Wealthy users with local AI, everyone else with cloud subscriptions. That's a legitimate concern. Third, updates. Cloud models improve automatically. Local models, you download new versions yourself. If Google releases a better Spark, you manually download it. That's friction. Fourth, complexity. Setting it up requires technical knowledge. Cloud services have buttons. Local requires configuration, drivers, troubleshooting. For non-technical users, cloud is still easier. And fifth, power consumption. Running a GPU uses electricity. A cloud call costs nothing in power. Running a local model all day increases your electric bill. So it's not that local AI is better, it's that they are different tools for different jobs. Sensitive data, go local. Need peak performance, go cloud. Want speed and offline capability, go local. Need simplicity, go cloud. The future isn't one or the other, it's both working together. Now here's the bigger picture that changes everything. For 15 years, computing has been moving toward the cloud. Your photos go to Google Drive. Your documents go to Microsoft OneDrive. Your conversations go to ChatGPT servers. Everything's centralized. Every company collects data. It's the business model, ads, recommendations, training data harvests. Your information is the product. But local AI creates an alternative. If your AI runs on your device, the company building the model never sees your data. Google doesn't know what you use Gemini Spark for. Nvidia doesn't track your requests. There's no training data harvest. That's genuinely revolutionary for privacy. It also matters for power dynamics. Right now, a few companies control AI. You use what they decide to build. You obey their policies. Your access can be terminated. But if AI runs locally, anyone can take an open source model, deploy it locally, and build tools without asking permission. Developers can create specialized AI applications without sharing data with tech giants. Doctors can build medical diagnostic tools. Lawyers can build contract analysis. Artists can build creative tools, all privately, all under their control. And it changes what's economically viable. Cloud APIs have per-call costs. High-volume applications are expensive. Local execution costs electricity and one-time GPU investment. That math works for applications cloud never could. So the change from cloud to edge computing isn't just technical, it's political. It's about who controls the tools, who owns the data, and what the power structure looks like. This is where it gets interesting. So you want to actually try this. Here's what you need. First, hardware. You need a graphics card with AI acceleration. For Nvidia, that's a GeForce RTX card, 30 series, 40 series, or newer. If you have an AMD card, RDNA-3 or newer works. Apple Silicon, Macs with M1 or better already run local AI natively. If you don't have a compatible GPU, you're looking at $400 to $800 for a used or new card. If you do, great, you likely already have it. Second, software. Download Allama. It's free, open source, and lets you run local models with a simple interface. Go to Allama AI, download it for your operating system. Third, models. Allama has a library of pre-built models. Gemini Spark isn't available yet, but you can download Mistral, which is comparable and much smaller. Llama 2 is solid. Neural Chat is good for conversations. These are measured in gigabytes, not terabytes. You download once, it runs instantly. Fourth, applications. GitHub Copilot now supports local models. VS Code extensions let you run AI-powered coding. Writing tools like Codium work locally. The ecosystem is building. Fifth, actual usage. Once you've installed a model, you interact through a chat interface. Type a prompt. Get a response in milliseconds. It's literally like ChatGPT, just faster and offline. The hardest part, making sure your drivers are updated. Nvidia CUDA drivers, AMD ROCm drivers, these are free downloads. That's it. The whole setup takes 30 minutes if you're technical, an hour if you're not. You're not in the command line. This is consumer-friendly now. Here's what this means for you and the next 5 years. The change from cloud to local isn't a replacement, it's a fundamental restructuring. Think about your smartphone. It has powerful AI built in now. That's edge computing. Your laptop getting the same capability, that's the next logical step. By 2028, expecting local AI on your computer will be as normal as expecting Siri on your iPhone. It'll be embedded in your operating system. Won't download models, your OS ships with it. Developers will build applications assuming local AI is available. That changes what's possible. Right now, cloud AI limits you with rate limits and costs. Local AI removes those restrictions. You'll see applications that interact with your files in real time, analyze your workflow, make suggestions without delay, all privately. You'll see smaller companies competing with giants because they don't need massive servers. You'll see specialized vertical AI, industry-specific tools, not generic models. And here's what to watch, whether large model capability stays in the cloud or moves local. Today, that 85 to 95% capability gap exists. In 2 years, probably 50%. In 5 years, maybe 20%. As models get more efficient and GPUs get more powerful, that gap shrinks. The entire economic model of cloud computing starts to change. This is why tech giants are investing so heavily in edge AI right now. They see what's coming. The question isn't whether local AI will dominate, it's how quickly. So here's what to do right now. Understand the trade-offs, download Ollama, try a model, see what's possible on your hardware. You're living through the transition from cloud-first to local-first computing. And unlike most tech changes, you can actually participate right now. Your laptop is becoming an AI machine. The question is whether you'll learn to use it.